Hello there everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new to my channel, thank you very much for joining us. I'm doing a couple of videos on a Halloween journal. So what I thought was I would show you quickly what I'm going to be using. This is a new digital kit that I've created for Halloween. I was hoping to have done this a couple of days ago, but I've been none too well. So there's all sorts of different bits of ephemera to cut up in there, and some headstone tags, moons, tickets, and then there's some pages to use as well. And that one didn't print so well, did it? And then what I'm going to use for my journal, because I want to make something fairly quick, is I'm using these sketchbook packs from Hobbycraft. Now the technique that I'm going to use was one that I saw Shannon Green do. So in the description box beneath the video, you'll need to click on see more probably. I will put the link up for the digital kit, and I'll also put the link up for Shannon's video as well. As I say, I'm following Shannon Green's idea. I haven't got the same inks as she's got, so I'm using something slightly different. But just with some water, you're going to spray around this side, and this side, so that the water starts to creep into the paper. Now, one of the problems with using this book as opposed to the text block that Shannon used is that it's got this fold here, because I'm not going to take it apart, whereas hers were all individual pages. So what happens is that it doesn't get really down this centre fold where that part is, where the pages meet, and there's also a gap. So you could pinch them together a little bit. So yeah, so I'm just going to spray like that and then fan it a little bit, because as you can see it's not seeping down onto all of the pages, to get some air in between. Right, so I'm quite happy now with how that's all sprayed up. And then I've got some re-inker inks. They're slightly more concentrated. Now I'm using my Stampin' Up ones on this book. I did use Tim Holtz on the other one, the Tim Holtz re-inkers. So I've got this one, which is called Pumpkin Pie. This one is called Crushed Curry, and this one is Lemon Lime Twist. Right, so we've got sort of oranges and yellows, and then I'm just going to pinch together where that fold is, and I'm just going to place some of the re-inker inks on the top. And what should happen is that due to the water, it will start to drip down onto the pages a bit and seep through. Let's put a bit of green on. In the sort of blank spaces. Now, I'm not doing this as well as Shannon did it, I have to say. But I'm trying my best. Now, obviously, I don't want to make mud, which is the likelihood of mixing these colours together. But if they do make mud, hopefully they'll make a nice-ish colour of mud. I'm then going to spray it again with some more water to try and encourage those inks to move down the page. Now I'm not going to reveal what that looks like just yet, because I want to go off and go and dry this. So I might need to leave it overnight and or use my heat tool to just dry the edges of this, because at the moment they are all clagged together. So that's my book all now inked up. Now one thing, well, two things that you need to be aware of. Oopsie! But you'll see why my hands are more this colour in a moment, because I did something else after I stopped filming the last little bit. So that's the first thing. You might want to wear gloves. The second thing is that what you need to remember is the inks that you use might be water reactive. So it means that if you add more water or liquid of any kind to on top of these inks, obviously it'll make them run and become active again. So this is how this black one looks. And what I like is on this, it's only on the first and the last page this happened, but the green, because green is made from blue and yellow, some of the blue ink started to come through, which I thought was quite good. And then you'll find as well as we go through that the middle pages have got far more ink on them because of it being open. But this actually makes quite a nice colour combination for an autumn journal as well. So just go through the pages. So as you can see, look, we're starting to get towards the centre and there's more ink on the pages. They're still not 100% dry, but nearly. So yeah, see, more ink as we get nearer this centre, and that's the centre page. And actually the page crinkled up a bit here, not that I mind that. I did go on to go and play with some text pages. Now I sprayed the top with the water and the sides and the bottom and this side as well, because obviously they're loose leaf pages now. And then obviously I went and put the inks on. But then what I did was, because I'd got loads of ink on my mat, I then went through and picked up the pages and sort of, you know, dabbed it in a little bit. So it has picked up some of the inks on other parts of the pages. The other thing that I did on some of them as well was I sprayed some of them with a little bit of coffee, or diluted coffee. So that one I dabbed on the page to pick up the inks. That one I did a little bit of coffee dye in, and then I just put them in the oven on a low heat just for a little while to just get them to dry off. So that one, obviously, look, I used a lot of coffee on that one. So I have actually glued down 2 of these book pages as pockets, as I just talked about. So I just put glue around 3 sides. So I've got one here and I've got one here as well. And then what I thought I would do on sort of these pages, because they haven't got as much ink on, I'm going to rip down this edge so that it matches up a little bit more with this side. So I'm actually going to use my metal tearing ruler, which I don't actually like very much, but in this instance it'll probably work out quite well, because it's one side's really jagged, the other side is not quite so jagged, and then it'll match up more with the other side, with it being so roughly torn, that is. There you go. So that edge now matches up a lot more with this edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half. And I'm going to put glue across the top and across the bottom. And then I'm going to sit it in there, right into the fold as far as it'll go, and glue that down. Okay, and then on the other half, that's moved. There we go. It's better. And then on the other half, I'm going to place glue top, bottom, and then along this long edge down here. And I'm going to close the book flat. What it should do, if I can find it, there we go, is I should then have, when I open this up, a pocket here and a pocket here. So it's going across the centre where the pages meet. Now if you try and stick it down, open it up again. If you just try and stick it down as it is by placing glue top and bottom across the whole page and a line of it down the middle, it will end up bubbling up where this crease fold is. So that's why I've done it, so that I only glued half down and then put glue on the other half and close the book, so that there should be no bubbling and it should stay in contact then with both sides. So next thing I want to do is I want to add some strips of music paper, and again it'll come in handy for areas like this where there's no ink down the spine. So I want to ink it up first, so I'm going to use my walnut stain. Put some glue on, and it just adds a little bit of a border on some of the pages. And I'm just going to pick out randomly some pages to stick this on. I've got some of these damask paper bags, and I thought that they tied in really well with the Tim Holtz fragments stamps. So what I'm going to do is I've chosen my page, and I'm going to fold this over and put it on sideways. So that will fold there. So I just need to put some glue down those two sides. Now I could cut the end of this bag open, but I'm going to leave it closed just because it'll hold a little bit more weight. It won't be as flimsy. So put 2 bits of glue down there so that I can close that shut. And then I'm going to put glue on the back around 3 sides here. So then it'll have a top opening pocket. So it'll have an open pocket here in the bag, a pocket there, and then it'll have one at the top as well. And then that can sit in there. Now the other thing is, because of the way I folded it over, I've got this text on the back here, made in Taiwan, which I obviously don't want showing in a Halloween book. So I've got this little scrappy bit of music paper, and I'm just going to glue that onto the edge there to cover over that wording, and I can add more decoration to it later on. I just want to get the bones of the journal made up first. So that will sit on there, and then that will be there, there, and then at the top up here. So I'm going to use some of my Stays On Stone Grey ink rather than a Distress ink, because I want these to be quite defined. So let's choose a page. So maybe that one. Now I haven't used these, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some Versamark ink on it first. So this was a little tip that I picked up. I have shown this before, but I actually saw it on someone else's video. So you put Versamark on it first, and then you wipe it off with your hand, and it sort of almost prepares the stamp for taking up the ink. I think I got it all. A bit more maybe on there. Now Stays On is a permanent ink, and I have got a special Stays On cleaner for my stamps to be able to remove the ink, so you can't remove the ink from these stamps with water. So I'm just going to pop that on there. I love the smell of Stays On inks. They've got that marzipan smell. Okay. I'm going to add just a little bit more down there. And there. Corner one down there, and then this one up here. That's nice, like that. And then this one at the top. So I'm going to go off and go and add some more of these. And I'll see you in a minute with the next step. My next step is that I want to use up some of the digital papers now from my kit. So what I thought I might do is this one I am going to put in the centre here, but I'm going to make it up into an envelope, and I won't attach that until it comes to sewing the signature in. Now at the moment it's stapled in, and I don't think it holds it securely enough, so I will actually stitch this signature in place, and I'll do that with the envelope that I'm going to make, but I will show you how I'm going to do that a little bit later on. But that's my thought for that piece. And then on this page I've got this. So with this one I'm going to fold it in half, I'm just going to ink up this white edge here, and then I'm going to glue them together around two sides to form a really big pocket. So down one long side and across half of the bottom, and then I'll stick those two together, and then I'm going to add a thumb hole there. What I thought I would do here is I'm going to hinge that on that page. So I'm going to rip that edge off there. And then I want another piece. I want one for the front and one for the back. out there. So I'm going to put some glue just on one half for now. And sit that on there so that it overhangs the edge. Right, so it's overhanging up by that much, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on this edge and then glue that onto the page. I need to just lightly crease that. So that will swing open like that. And then this edge, which edge do I want to use? And this one I'm going to put glue on all of it. And stick it on both the digital page and the page in the book. I'm just creasing with my thumbnail down there. Could use my bone folder, but I'm lazy. Right, so I've now got this area that I can write on. I can write on here, flip that over, and I can write on here, and then I can put something inside of there. So I'm doing the same with this one. Just putting it on the edge of the page. So I folded it up into a pocket and done some hinges out of that book paper. And I'm just going to sit that on there. And I'm going to finger crease it down that edge so that it will fold over, and then this piece will sit on the edge there. So that will then hold that pocket in place. And the colours again all tie in together. And so that will now finger press that. That will now fold over, and that one will stay there. I want to use the graph paper and the marbled paper, because I want to rip these sort of quite acute angles. So I'm just going to rip it slightly across at an angle. And then I want to do the same with this piece, but bigger. So if I do that to kind of mirror it, okay, and then I'm going to ink up the edges. And I want this quite grungy, so I'm going to do it quite dark. In fact, I might rip off that bottom edge as well. And again, ink this up now so that this looks all grungy. So this orange one I'm going to attach as a tuck spot. So I'm going to glue it across the top and down the side. And so that can stick in there. Down that edge. So that makes now a really big, nice tuck spot. And then this one, I'm going to use, I've got some graph micropore, washi tape, not micropore. It's a different colour, but it doesn't matter. But I haven't got much of this left. Ooh. It's horrible, isn't it, when you get down to the bottom of something and you think, oh God, where did I get that from? Can I get any more? So I'm going to, in fact, I'm going to put a line of glue on, because as you know, I don't trust washi tape very much for its stickiness or its permanent stickiness. So I'm going to put that on there. Rip that bit off. Put some more glue on the back. Sit that on top of there. Then that will flip up. And I'm going to put some micropore on the back. So now I've got a flip where I can write on the back as well as the front. And I've got a tuck spot here. And then the other thing that I thought I might do is again using this graph. Well, in fact, no, I'll tell you what, we'll use that one. I'm going to cut a strip, just a small strip of that off. And I'm going to use this as a little bit of a tab. I'm going to stick that on there. Flip it up. And then I'm going to fold it back on itself. So that now becomes a little bit of a tab to be able to lift that up and over. I think that's the bare bones, Halloween journal bare bones, of what I'm going to do. I'm now going to start adding some ephemera, but I'm going to do that in another video. And do any other additional little bits that I want to add to it as well. So I'll show you at the beginning of the next video where I'm up to, and then we'll start to make some ephemera for the journal to start to tie it all together, and I'll also cover the front cover as well. Okay, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.